Hello, this is Barbara Gon Mueller, and I welcome you to peacepodcast.org for peace, inspiration, and mutually assured survival. Think about those words. Where do you get your inspiration? Is it through art? Is it through music? Is it through friends? Well, today we have a guest, Laurie Marshall. For 35 years, author, innovator, and artist, Laurie Marshall has empowered youth and adults through creative collaboration. She practices peace building through art, inspired by nature. A visionary educator, she has served mostly low-income children, families, and their schools as an arts integration and project-based learning specialist. You know, when I was teaching in the lab school at San Diego State University, my favorite part was teaching art because I knew that these children could express themselves through the arts. And it sounds like that's what you're doing, Laurie.
Yes.
And well, I'm so delighted you're here. We need you now on this planet of uncertainty. So she's a founder of Unity Through Creativity Foundation and the Singing Tree Mural Project. This project is an invitation for the whole world to create a painting together, envisioned by an 8-year-old girl in 1999. So far, 142 murals have been made by over 25,000 people. Just think, the difference between art in a museum and a mural is the mural is in a public place and everybody can enjoy it. They don't have to pay a fee to go see the murals. And so I was thinking about Laurie and the early books that she sent me. She wrote the book, The Singing Tree, and there's so many things that she has done. For her to give her energy and her creativity to these children just blows me away. And the mutualism of trees and forests are the inspiration for humanity to collaborate in this international mural project. You look behind her, what do you see? You see trees and you see space and you see birds, and you look at them and you think, well, where has she done this? She's done them for NASA, FEMA, the Army Corps of Engineers, the Department of the Interior, botanical gardens, as well as public schools, hospitals, prisons. Just think, when those murals are viewed and the muralists, the people who created them, this is my mural. What a joy that would be for anybody who is part of her life. And after 15 years in California, she now lives in El Paso, Texas, with her husband, Tom West. And she is a member of the El Paso Quaker Meeting Group, and she also is a member of the Rotary E-Club of World Peace. So with that beautiful introduction, because that's who you are, I say welcome. And you know, I have a few questions for you because I really want to have our people who are watching today, our wonderful members of our Peace Podcast group, understand who you are and what that vision was that propelled you into making these podcasts available and this the murals that you've created. So what happened to make this vision come about for you?
Miss Barbara, there was a question I asked. Is it possible for me to share a PowerPoint, or would you rather that I just speak? Because this is a radio, mostly radio.
You know, your murals are so beautiful. And if you want to share your PowerPoint, that would be fine. We can give this a try.
Okay, and I'll describe things as we're sharing. And it would be my delight. If I may share the screen.
Yes,
I don't know if
I put you in to do that.
Okie dokie.
And I don't know why I should share.
I sent you a request for multiple presenters.
Yes, it did work.
Thank you.
And this is Laurie Marshall. What a gift she's going to be sharing with us today.
This is a PowerPoint that I prepared for the Unitarian Church, and it all works together. So Unity Through Creativity is based on the concept that creativity and collaboration are everyone's birthright. It is not unity through manipulation, lies, force, violence, weapons, bullying. It's unity through the fact that each of us brings a unique creative vision to the world, just like we have a unique thumbprint and a unique iris and unique DNA in our hair. We each have unique images that come to us that are sent by Creator to help solve our heartbreak, heal our heartbreak, and come up with innovative ideas. The painting that is on this slide is a 30-foot by 5-foot painting at Keystone Heritage Park in El Paso, Texas, and it includes a nectarine tree that is right next to the mural with its blossoms in spring sitting on the earth in space, and its fruit in the summer behind a mesquite tree. There's a doorway with two hands touching. One is a brown skin hand and one is a white skin hand. And the doorway that it opens to is covered with flowers. Looking out into a cloud-filled sky, this is the portal where all of us can create something more beautiful together. There's also a gray fox, which is indigenous to El Paso, and a rabbit with very long ears, which is indigenous to El Paso. Is there anything you want to say, Barbara, before I go on?
It's just beautiful, and you're doing a great job. We have, 20 minutes to create a moment for people who are watching this to realize that creativity and art are the way we express ourselves so often. Thank you.
I want to share that Rudolf Steiner said, the founder of the Waldorf curriculum, he said that the reason World War I happened was because people could not express their souls. The importance of people expressing their souls cannot be underestimated, in my opinion. So I would like to share a big vision, where it comes from, why it's so hard, what's been done, and what's ahead. And the image on the screen is a painting of El Paso as an international city of peace. Again, this is a collective painting where people contributed their vision of peace for El Paso on leaves and birds. There is a mesquite tree on top of the earth, and the words El Paso International City of Peace and purple mountains, a flag of Mexico and the United States that are held together in a vortex because we're on the border, and there is no thing that happens to one side of the border that doesn't happen to the other. And it's also surrounded by artwork by the amazing artists who are here in El Paso. And we have 4 circles that are holding each other: peace within, peace with each other, peace with the earth, and peace with the universe.
So where is this displayed, this beautiful mural?
This is a portable mural that is smaller. It's about 3 feet by 5 feet or 4 feet. And I carry it with me and take it to various events around El Paso.
Oh, perfect.
At this point. Yeah. I'd love for it to go into a copy of it to go into the El Paso airport, so that when people arrive, they know that El Paso has identified itself as one of 404 other cities of peace, along with the fact that El Paso is the veterans capital of the United States. We have a very large veterans population that's always being served with more continuous improvement here in this community. So the vision is, like Rotary eliminated polio and they said it couldn't be done. What if we eliminated violent conflict? They say it can't be done. What Buddha said is to do the impossible, so let's do the impossible. And there is an image of about 25 young people from 25 countries that gathered through United Religions International, a wonderful interfaith program that invites people to make circles of 7 people that all have different worldviews and to create a project together. It's uri.org. And we made the banyan singing tree of interfaith inspiration. which is what they're standing in front of.
It's beautiful.
The vision comes from a very long evolution. I'm looking at a painting that has a turquoise sky and an angel oak tree, and in the tree trunk is Martin Luther King. This image was painted by formerly homeless and socially conscious youth in Marin County, California. When I was 7 years old, my parents brought me to a Quaker conference in Cape May, New Jersey, where Martin Luther King spoke. And all I could see was the adults' belts and bellies. And we were in a long, narrow hall, and I heard this voice filled with love and electricity, like nothing I'd ever heard before, like no one I had ever heard before. And he said that people of all colors can love each other like sisters and brothers. And that message validated what I knew to be true in all the cells of my body, that we are one human family. And we're looking at now a singing tree mural that is 8 feet by 16 feet in reality. And this was made by high school students in Oakland, California. The logo of Oakland is an oak tree, and we use the logo as our central inspiration. This was commissioned by the Restorative Justice for Oakland Youth organization that has helped break the school to prison pipeline in Oakland, and just got a $3 million grant to bring restorative circles to the Oakland Schools District. There, around the tree are 7 circles that express the values of our Joy, who has gone to Africa to study indigenous conflict resolution and restorative practices. There's a Sankofa bird at the bottom, and Africa is to the right. And in the 7 circles are a drum and music, waterfall and nature, the god of fire, a eagle soaring over the mountains, food, the goddess, a goddess of dance, and a geode that is busted in half with a figure on top of it who's breaking chains. And the high school students said, we are all like geodes. We have this plain exterior that doesn't reveal the gorgeous crystals that are within us. And our imagination and our understanding of how unique and precious we are helps us break our chains and be free.
It probably empowered the students to believe that they can create the world they want to see.
Exactly. That is the whole basis of the Singing Tree Mural Project. That if we wish to create a new reality, we have to move away from the reality that exists and shape a vision of the reality that we want. And that's what I've done, and the facilitators do over and over.
Is this part of a public scene somewhere where people can look at it when they go to Oakland?
They can go to the Office of the Restorative Justice for Oakland Youth to see it.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And on the left and the right bottom are many people from many different walks of life who we are celebrating.
Perfect.
So after my experience with Martin Luther King, I was working as a artist in residence in Hillsborough, Virginia, and we made a painting with all 130 students. And this 8-year-old Meredith Miller said, I wish the whole world could see our painting and then the whole world would be happy. And then she said, what if the whole world made a painting together? And we're looking at a picture of Meredith when she was 10 at the U.S. Botanical Gardens in front of the first Singing Tree mural, which was 16 feet high by 8 feet wide and made by 1,000 students in rural Virginia from public, private, and homeschool communities. And there's a picture of her, Meredith, standing in front of a giant redwood tree. She is still in touch with us.
That's a beautiful story. And it does show that when a person has a vision, the universe supports it.
Yes. So part of the universe supporting this vision was somebody handed me the book, The Singing Tree by Kate Sarady, which has a story that has informed all singing tree murals. One night during World War I, the author's daddy crawled on his belly with his battalion to escape the enemy, and everything had been destroyed by war. There was no life existing anywhere. When the dawn came, one tree was still alive, and birds from hundreds of miles away who aren't normally together were in the tree singing a song that has never been heard before. And the painting that we're looking at has the earth with all the continents on one side, and it has flamingos, egrets, bluebirds, kingbirds, eagles, warblers, about 20 different birds sitting in the tree.
That gives me chills just to hear the story of war's devastation and the beautiful tree being the place for this nature to settle.
Mm-hmm. So I look at the Earth as the singing tree of the galaxy, because for billions of miles, we know that life is very rare and precious. And we can choose to destroy this beautiful planet and each other, or we can create beauty that has never been seen before. And the structure of the singing tree is a tree on the earth in space, and every community gets to decide the content. We're looking at a 8 foot by 4 foot mural that was envisioned by a 7-year-old girl, and it's called The Blood Dragon Singing Tree to Prevent Extinction. That was her vision. She chose the tree. She knew just what she was about. And often we add leaves and birds and stars that we glue on. With this one, we added animals that we didn't want to go extinct. And of course, the children began adding baby animals. There's a baby giraffe with the mommy. There's a baby flamingo with the mommy. There's a baby panther with the mommy or daddy. And the children understood that if we don't want to have extinction, we have to have future generations.
Beautiful the way you created an opportunity for them to express their desires as well as to communicate a message. It's amazing how children are so creative, and you gave them a vehicle in which to express their creativity. That's what I love about your murals. Each one is unique and different.
Yes, that's because we follow nature. And this is a STEAM project, and nature is always replicable. It has clear goals. So nature has the clear goal of all water getting to the ocean. All water wants to get to the ocean. But the Mississippi River doesn't tell the Nile River or the Colorado River or the Amazon River how to get to the ocean. The local conditions determine the form of expression. And nature embraces diversity. It doesn't like monocrops. So there is tremendous diversity in every mural that we look at. And that's created. This is the sycamore singing tree of success, which is a white trunk against a brilliant yellow and orange sun and a black universe with a moon and a UFO, and the number 350 on the Earth, which is the number of parts per million of carbon dioxide that we need on the Earth to thrive. When I did this mural, there were 392 parts per million. There are now 416 or 18 parts per million. It's a way of having a conversation about what's real and what will help us get through, what will help us as a species survive. And nature also always has an interdependent network, and the singing tree, every community that makes a singing tree is part of this interdependent network of peace leaders. We also honor the mutualism of trees And trees are generous. They give us the oxygen we breathe. Each one supports 300 different life forms. They clean water. They make fruits, nuts, and seeds. And all the leaves and roots work together.
That's the part I love. I wanted to start something called United Nature because in nature, they support each other.
Yes.
Oh, their roots for the baby trees to get the nourishment they need. I have heard so many stories of nature taking care of other trees in their vicinity. And you
Yes.
together here to show us that.
Yes. And at the end of Darwin's life, he wrote a paper saying that he got it wrong, that it's not survival of the fittest, it's survival of the most collaborative. And the Biomimicry Institute is an incredible place that shares the incredible collaboration of nature. There's so many people doing research on it, and it's very important for our survival as a species.
Hmm.
And we're looking at a yellow background, the singing tree of honoring Native American cultures. There's 572 leaves, a leaf for every federally registered indigenous culture here in the United States, and 4 circles for the 4 directions. This was designed by Marian Kowalty Hansen of the Kiowa culture. She was head of the BIA's art collection, and this is on display at the Department of Interior,
Where? Department of Interior in Washington?
Washington, D.C.
Good. That's so beautiful. The colors and every leaf representing an indigenous group. It's just absolutely amazing.
It is. And
What is it
you'll
about a
notice
mural
that, say
that
that again.
I said, what is it about a mural that creates a harmony with all the unity and diversity? I get that right now.
Yeah. It has to do also with the structure of always including the tree as the central uh, being, the central guide. And this is a willow tree. And you'll notice that there are many different people who are facilitating murals. It's not just me. Um, and I want more. So each singing tree envisions success to a community challenge or healing to a heartbreak. When we work on a common project, it generates healing and connection and accelerates innovation. We're looking at the water willow singing tree, and there is a earth in the center with a baby. And the baby's pink umbilical cord goes around the blue willow tree trunk, which is also a trunk made of water that has otters and fish swimming in it. And the leaves are water drops and also teardrops. And this was designed by high school students in Novato, California. The background is like a wonderful, lively uterus with reds and yellows and purples holding this baby inside of the earth.
Beautiful. The symbolism that you present in every one of your murals is phenomenal.
And part of why it's so rich is that we ask people to say, this image came through you. What does it mean to you? And we learn so much about each other. And you can't hold somebody in contempt when you see the beautiful images that lie within. So I want to address, why is it so hard to have a world without violent conflict? And I'm just going to speak very briefly about the fact that we have 3 brains, and our over 200 million-year-old brain is the dinosaur brain that keeps our heart going and our lungs going and loves sex because it wants more life, and will attack when it feels attacked. It will kill everything that moves when it feels attacked. We have about 60 billion years of our mammal brain, which is a herd brain, which loves to be part of a group and can tell in 4 seconds whether or not you're included in the group or excluded from the group. And the mammal brain is where our heart brain lives and our emotions live. And then we have our thinking brain, which is like 300,000 years old. I mean, maybe 3 million at the most, but it cannot compete with the dinosaur brain and the mammal brain. When we feel attacked or excluded, we can't use our thinking brain. We have to train ourselves to recognize the power of these very old brains and interrupt them, which we have a like 0.4 seconds to interrupt them, and use our breath to say, oh, I'm in my reptile brain, I'm in my mammal brain, I'm not acting with my thinking brain, and help each other and practice over and over how to self-regulate. And that's why it's so hard to make peace within, peace with each other, peace with the earth, and peace with the universe. It's
Well, we
just,
just had a university course on peace and why we are who we are and why the brain does not help us sometimes. And
yes.
I'm going to stop the slideshow because I would like you to just talk. You do so much in your beautiful space with these murals. And so now that you have shown us some of the beauty of the murals, what is your future? What do you hope that with the unity through creativity, and how will the earth accept that?
Oh, I love the question of how would the earth accept that? I have no idea. Our hope is that we will train many more facilitators. We have about 8 now around the world. And we are doing a training in January on Martin Luther King's birthday weekend, which is very symbolic for me, that will be hybrid, both online and in person here at El Paso, Texas. And the training, we will create a mural together from start to finish. And then people will go to their communities and get support for 6 months to a year in creating a singing tree mural in their community.
Wonderful.
And they can become certified and then be part of a pool of people that do this work, team building for businesses, bringing conflicted communities together, strengthening the ties in a community, and we're all going to need that. So we'd love to get more people. And you don't have to be an artist, you have to be somebody who loves to facilitate and to make a space for people to envision success and spark innovation. We often partner, we have non-artists that partner with artists, and then people become more and more artistic because we all have that. And we hope to expand our operating budget so that we could hire more people. We've been able to pay for our programs pretty well through services. About 80% of our budget is programs, and we struggled with the operating expenses.
So that's
So
where we can help you, right? We could maybe
yes,
support. How would we go about supporting and donating? I know I made a donation last night because I was so impressed with what you're doing. And I thought, well, what my little $100 multiplied by 25 people would
yay!
allow a new mural and maybe help pay for some of the overhead that's really important for the creativity to be allowed to flourish.
Yes, so at our website, unitythroughcreativity.org, there's a donate button and also a list of what your different donations supports.
That's
Um,
fabulous.
yes,
Through creativity. Think about that. Those words are so powerful. And your website is unitythroughcreativity.org, right?
right. Yes,
And so we
yes.
have a dream. I know you do. Everybody who's been on these peace podcasts, I always close with, what is your dream for our planet today? And it's so interesting. Joyce Wyckoff, who I talked to just before I called her before our interview because she's been studying murals around Mexico. And then you have a part of you that has been in Mexico studying murals. And I said to Joyce, she's one of my dearest friends, and I said, why do we have these parallel paths? We're always doing the same thing at the same time. She has been trying to learn Spanish, and then she said she gave that up and just looked at the murals, the beauty of these murals, which are in public spaces, and it takes art into everyday life. And I love that about your murals. So what is your plan or your dream for our planet?
Oh my goodness, Barbara, it's breaks my heart to see that people kill each other instead of solve problems together in a creative way. So my dream for our planet is that we will come out of this darkness of the womb to a true democracy that is multi-religious, multicultural, multiracial, multi-gendered, multi cultural, and where everyone's gift is able to be expressed because everyone comes in with a gift that is needed. So instead of this scarcity, fear based operating system, this dinosaur operating system where we have to attack, that we will all get to express our genius.
That is so beautiful. You know, I've always said that we are born with a code of destiny, and that code of destiny is really our genius. And I look at you and I see your passion to help people express that destiny, express that genius that's inside. I imagine some of the students who have been making murals feel like artists today, right?
Well, our web designer and videographer, I met her as a 17-year-old in 2010 um, in a high school in Santa Rosa, California. And she has made 35 murals with me. And now she's in charge of all of our media. Um, and yes, because we all are inherently creative. And we've been drawing for 60,000 years and writing for 5,000 years. And we get told that only a few people can know how to draw. But indeed, we all have these beautiful images that Creator sends to us that are needed.
I was thinking about the caves up here in Santa Barbara. If you go up into the mountains, here's these beautiful illustrations of what they were going through in these caves. And so art has been with us. That's our way of expressing ourselves, even before the written language, right?
Yes,
What you're doing is you're going into our harmony with our inner strengths.
yes. There's something about making your mark that is so satisfying. And as you've seen, we've worked with thousands of young people and adults, and the joy of just making a decision and taking action, which is what you do when you make a stroke of paint. It allows us to use our thinking brain. It empowers us, and we're no longer in our worry brain, our dinosaur brain, when we make a decision and take action. And that's what making a mark is. It's so simple.
Make a decision and take action. I hate to say this, but I have a workshop coming up December 13th with Sam Daly Harris, who gives us a call to action, and how you even called him out when his new book came out. But this call to action seems to empower people, but they don't know how to do that. You give them the mural way, and I give them the vocal way, but we
Yes.
together bring a harmony. And I'm just so delighted, Laurie Marshall, that you have kept that spark of energy and the beauty of your work and yourself. It's just, you come into a room and the people say, now, why is Laurie here? And all of a sudden they see the beauty around you as your art becomes materialized and you see people becoming involved. I can't thank you enough for the work that you've been doing. Do you have a
Mm.
last word?
I want to express my gratitude for all that you brought to my life, the stories of Robert Mueller, the belief in the Rotary serving world peace on a whole new level, your consistency in bringing together people, and I'm very honored to be here on the Peace Podcast.
And it is my honor to thank you, and it is my pleasure to have you. You're a two-timer. I wanted you to be on twice because in the beginning we talked about certain things that were going on, and now it's a couple years later, and you're still doing the work that allows people to feel empowered and beautiful. And I'm Barbara Gunn Mueller, and I thank you with all my heart for joining us for peacepodcast.org. And I hope you got as inspired as I am from Laurie Marshall, our guest today. And be sure you think about the possibility of helping supporting this wonderful cause where artists are born, through a mural. And with that, I say thank you for joining. And don't do this by yourself. Open up Peace Podcast and invite 3 friends so that you can have a conversation. And with that, I love you.